This is a Bant control list playing Felidar Retreat as kind of its replacement for Field of the Dead in this archetype. Felidar Retreat is a better Field of the Dead as far as what the actual effect is. Hard to compare too much to Field of the Dead though, since Field just being a land was obviously what was so powerful about it. But Retreat also plays really, really well with Knight of the Reliquary, giving the Knight of the Reliquary Vigilance first, and then letting you attack with it, and then you can sack the Knight, get 2 fetch lands, trigger Retreat 2 more times, still deal damage with your Knight. Has always been something I've really liked. And then you also have Retreat to Coralhelm to just kill your opponent sometimes with Knight of the Reliquary, but that's just like a one of. That is certainly not that big a deal in the deck, I think. It's like plan C. Probably can't keep double Cryptic 1 blue source. His hand's way better. I think just putting back the garden. Is Typhoon best in blue-white blade instead of Bant? Yeah, I think so. Like, you just kind of need like a flying cantrip guy is like what's so powerful, and then Ice-Fang is a little bit of a better version than that, I think. Watch this be elves, that would be hilarious. I should have had Esther tell that story about her crazy customer. I feel like she would have told it way better than I did. Mardu Pyromancer, returning from the ashes, I guess. Pretty exciting. Not going to be dredging the Loam. Just take my 2 mana, draw 2. 3 mana up. No dredge. Yeah, we already played the Painter's Servant deck. It was not very good. But it was fun. Yeah, this Loam is going to be a pain. Obviously, Loam is punishing us for not dredging it because we've just drawn lands. Wonder if they're playing Village Rites? That would be cool. Yeah, Loam is like, you're going to dredge me, or you're just going to draw lands. You can watch the Painter's Servant deck in the VOD. Just if you go to videos, you could rewind. The token having trample is a visual bug, I believe. I believe it's just a visual bug. It also doesn't really matter because it's a 1/1. But young Pyromancer, for whatever reason, just can't have the right token on Magic Online, and I don't understand either. Yeah, if we can draw a Felidar Retreat, that would be pretty ideal. Life total is getting kind of low, though. Man, I wish I was having as much fun as my opponent. Golly. Well, we did draw the retreat, and we're pretty behind. We're going to 2 here, assuming my opponent has nothing, which is a really bad, like, spot to be in. But at least good enough to not concede, maybe? I don't think this deck has any ways to gain life also, which might be an issue. Just, where for art thou? We got to untap. We got to untap. What can I say? Except we have no outs. Oh, I guess yeah, I mean, I guess I should have cracked a clue to try to have Cryptic, because I can't actually Ice-Fang into Cryptic, which was our out. Tough game 1. We're in the Vales. Don't think I want Blessed Alliance against the token deck. Probably want Onthonice number 4. Might want explosives. Might not want explosives. Probably don't want force. Probably want to cut the retreat. Play at least explosives number 1. You can play 2. Blessed allows life gain. I mean, it's 2 mana gain 4 is not a card I want to put in my deck. I know it does other stuff too, but any consideration for Reclaimer? I think Reclaimer makes your mana real bad. I think you'd have to be like straight green-white for Reclaimer. Yeah, or be 4 color and play Omnath so you have access to the life gain. Absolutely. Force might be good versus Souls. Force is like medium against Souls. Force isn't like it's just not good against their kind of deck. Reclaimer with Retreat. Is it good, Fran? It seems fine. I kind of in all your like green-white Coco decks, I feel like I just always want to play Retreat instead of Coco, but Coco's like probably better. All right, on the play, game 2. We can keep this. Oh no. The problem with this hand is I have to play a Celestial Colonnade. Which is not something that I am very inclined to do usually. Yeah, I think I agree that the Coco version is better. But boy do I like Felidar Retreat a lot. Yeah, I thought my headphones were connected, but I guess they weren't. Just like 2 seconds of Sweet Child O' Mine getting DMCA'd. Alright, good turn. Getting to go Onthonice into Knight. The Knight is pretty fragile here. But I think it's still good to jam. What type of music do I listen to? I listen to a lot of different types. I listen to a lot of rap, a lot of soundtracks, a lot of like older rock. DMCA has caused so many issues. How do other streamers play music on their streams? Do they play royalties for it? I mean, some people just don't care. They're willing to take the risk. It's actually pretty rare for usually it's not that big an issue if your stream is smaller. I personally am not that into risking it since the stream is my livelihood. I think I'm blessing. Bottom. The music I play on my stream comes from my friend Jalen Monday, who is a composer. We went to high school together, a good friend of mine, and gave me some music for the stream. And some people do play royalties. Some people do just listen to copyright-free music, but it's an issue. Discard Bedlam Raveler and Kaya's Guile. Plays Basic Mountain. Passes. Do I want to main phase Ice-Fang to find Onthonice? I guess that's good enough, right? Hey, Bonefish. Please be the real Bonefish offering me a sponsorship because I like eating there. I love Ransack the Lab. Not like the best card ever, but a card I like. You don't understand the music thing. Music record labels don't care about really anything besides making as much money as they possibly can, and they just can make money by copyright claiming this kind of stuff. Yikes. I'm probably gonna get Castle Vantress and then Scry. Let me shuffle now so like Knight isn't dying to bolt. We also have the ability to activate Colonnade and block maybe. I mean, I like Colonnade a little bit better in this deck than I usually do, since we do have the Knight to tutor it up. We have a lot of lands. We have Colonnade is also better when you play Growth Spiral, I'll say. You just need to draw Felidar Retreat. Am I gonna block? Yeah, blocking here means Jace doesn't die to Bolt, so... when I say block, I mean block with Colonnade, of course. I'm going to sack pre-combat, so the Knight doesn't die to Colonnade. And do I want to get Castle Ardenvale or Castle Vantress? I could just get a fetch land. Yeah, let me get a fetch land. This is just so good if I can find a retreat. Wait, I guess I must have miscounted. It's embarrassing. Not sure how that happened exactly. But I'm gonna, I think, attack with my Knight of the Reliquary. Do I care about more being able to sack a clue? Yeah, I think we can take the 2 to sack a clue this turn. I'm gonna wait on the sacrifice to play around discard spells. I think I will trade Ice-Fang for a Spirit. That trade is probably just happening this game. But it does have 2 Seasoned Pyromancers and a Lingering Souls in the yard. It's a lot of tokens. They bolted Jace. Yeah, I just thought that I thought that the Jace was going to 2 if I blocked, right? Is what I thought I said. I guess I just mumbled. But I miscounted. Well, didn't play around that very well. It's probably fine not to, right? Bonefish Grill, 2 months. Thank you back, Bonefish Grill. Kind of just think we're firing in with Colonnade, actually. Attack for 11. Hold up path. I guess play this to threaten 1 more damage. We went 1 and 4 with the Torpor deck, but actually felt like it was doing some powerful things. I think it was more of like a 2-3 deck than a 1-4 deck, you know? Poggers. Nice. Game 3, quick couple games for such a grindy matchup. Do I want to change anything? Kind of weird that they kept in push. I mean, push is good against us. I just don't think they saw. I guess they saw Tracker game 1, right? Double Wave, 3 months. Thanks for coming back. Hope you're having a good day today. Is this deck running in Horizon lands? It's playing 2 castles and a Colonnade as value lands for Knight. You could maybe play a Horizon land if you wanted to. I feel like we've already seen our opponent's list, Ghost. I feel like you could probably put it together based on what we've seen. No, I think Ashiok's bad in these kind of matchups where they just kill it really easily. Hey Michael, how's it going? You could maybe play Gavany Township. No, you don't want Hierarch. You want your ramp to be lands. What does retreat to Coralhelm? It combos with Knight of the Reliquary is the short answer. Probably easier to reverse engineer opponents. That Coralhelm is just so bad. I mean, I think having 1 copy as an oops I win button is fine. I don't hate it. I'm gonna keep this on the draw against the Mardu Pyromancer deck. For a 26 land deck. Oh, notably we don't have the green-white snow land. So I guess we're getting Temple Garden. The problem is it's not an oops I win button. Sure it is, sometimes. Not every time. You listed that rug of what mine you played the other day. If you type !deck in the chat, it'll pop up all the decks I play, and you can find that or any deck you like there. I guess Knight of the Reliquary is a 4/4, so I feel okay about playing it. I wasn't really expecting them to have Manamorphose. Maybe I should have. Wasn't really expecting them to have 2 Manamorphoses. Maybe I should have. Yeah, this is Reptimus Prime's list. It's pretty cool. I'm into it. I think it's like a pretty good starting point. Don't Night Away the Floodplain. No promises. Why are they killing their own token? Just so they can escalate? To put a Souls in the yard? Oh, Revolt for Fatal Push, of course. Sick turn, opponent. Nice, nice, nice. Good job. Guess we're gonna go Loam into Ice-Fang, and next turn we get to retreat with land. Cat's good against elementals. Dude, Arena would be pretty sick. Kind of good with Ice-Fang too. Emphasis on kind of. Kind of scared of just dying to the Lingering Souls tokens. Yikes. No, we didn't win a match with Painters, sadly. I thought we'd go at least 2-3. Good draw, opponent. Good draw. My opponent's draw has been gnarly this game. Like, ours is, I feel like, has been pretty good, but can never compete with the power of Mardu Pyromancer. You guys actually want to play Uro in this deck? I can't relate. Uro seems so bad. Much worse than Growth Spiral. Down to 4. So if we go Night Night lands, we have 4 blockers. Block, 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 block. Die exactly. We also, again, can't Cryptic off of this Ice-Fang. Alright, now we have 5 blockers. We have to pay a life. Block, block, block. Mardu Pyromancer, too powerful. Too powerful. Their draw was crazy. The opponent's username is intimidating. The King of None. I'm scared. I've been to None. It's very nice in the summer. Windswept Heath, Stomping Ground, Tarmogoyf. Alright, let's not play around Blood Moon. Kind of a cool turn. I was gonna we could Anthonize the falls, but I think better to Anthonize the plains now that we've drawn it. Arbor Elf. Is this just Ponza with Goyf? I think this is just Ponza with Goyf. So maybe I'll play Teferi and Plus to turn off Bloodbraid Elf Cascade, and if they have Klothys or Elder Gargaroth or Blood Moon, we can bounce it. Yeah, we could have Anthanized the Falls, but obviously this is better, especially if they do have Moon in their deck. What do I think of Kiki Core decks? I like them. I play them sometimes too. Hopefully this is Gargaroth. It's Glory Banger. Can block that with Ice-Fang next turn. Maybe this isn't so bad. More basics, wow. Yeah, I think I'm going to loam back this Misty so that I actually have one of each basic. Kind of interesting how quickly the script has flipped from I'm not going to play around Blood Moon. Not gonna dredge Loam. Don't mind Jace. Am I gonna dredge Loam if I guess I can just dredge Loam off of the Jace Brainstorm. Then they have one card in their hand. Bloodbraid Elf post-combat because they didn't want to lose their Cascade. It's pretty good, pretty good. We've got some good draws here though. It's not really one of them. I think I'm just not dredging. Oh, sick. So we want to be able to go Spiral into Path here. Kind of stinks that they are probably thinking about Ice-Fang and they might attack both at Jace. When ideally we would be able to avoid that. But no reason to path now. I guess we just draw and then hold the land to make sure we can trigger retreat, and then we can maybe just go retreat into Cryptic Tap. Scry 1. Okay, so we can tap draw, and then we can dredge Loam, and then retreat can start to take over the game. Scared of that, whatever that was. I think we really just don't want to take 8, though. Spiral's pretty good. Really hoping to hit a land off of the Loam. There's only one currently in our graveyard. Hit 2 lands, awesome. Nice. And Loam is such a cool card. Just one of the all-time greats. Well, I was probably actually supposed to play, I guess I'm going to get the Scry 1. But I was probably supposed to play Misty, get an island. We could also tap Bone Crusher Giant here, by the way. One of their cards is Wooded Foothills. We could also tap Glorybringer. They're fetching now. I feel like this has got to be a Blood Moon then. So punish for not playing the Misty. Take it, I guess. If we don't get Blood Moon here, I'm feeling good. Maybe I should have tapped the Arbor Elf. Nah, they could have just main phased it. Yeah. So let me block Bloodbraid Elf and then path the Spyro. And I gotta tell you, I have no idea how good or bad we're doing here. I think we're doing okay. I don't think I'm scrying. Oh. Maybe I should have saved the path. I think I'm just going to take a draw. And what a draw we got. So we have Hardcast Force or either Castle activation up. We probably don't have enough lands left in our deck to combo with Knight. We're also shuffling that away. We win next turn. I don't know if we have enough lands. We might. Gonna try. We need to tap the Goyf with Retreat right now. We have 26 lands in the deck, and we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess this count pumps. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I think it just resolves. Yeah, I think we just... I guess there's a really small chance the last card is that relevant. I mean, and Goyf is definitely big here, but... the Goyf seems very beatable to me. Oh my gosh. Just chaining these Spyros. If you untap land, you'd have enough for Ardenvale. Untap land with what? With Retreat can't untap lands, if that's what you're saying. I get to take the Scry too, I think. Yeah, I mean, we might not win this turn, but we're going to have a good turn. Oh, I'm going to stack this. Maybe they are dead. Do I just start blasting here? I can only tap one, actually. I think I'm going to start blasting. So I'm going to target this with an untap. +1 counters, +1 counters. Response, sack this. Get a fetch land. I think with one fetch land trigger, I'm going to tap a creature. And then with the next fetch land, I will untap the Knight. You can fetch lands, trigger twice per land. Thank you. Yes. This ain't my first rodeo. But thank you for looking out. Whew. What a game. Do something like this. Kind of like the look of this. I'm pretty sure they were dead. We're going to deal a ton of damage. Fran's still in the chat calling Retreat to Coralhelm bad. He might still be right, to be fair. I feel like I know that this list is playing a blue-white and blue-green snowland. I feel like I would rather just play a green-white and blue-white, because just like the blue-green fast land that makes you want to get basic planes, and basic planes is so bad with Ice-Fang and Growth Spiral. But you might also only want to play one snow duel anyways, right? Probably getting basic forest this turn. Then we can go spiral into basic planes the following turn if we don't need to force a blood moon this turn. Ah! Is that Tarmogoyf, the most threatening creature in Modern? The $100 Tarmogoyf? It's cute, but that worked out. Yeah, you might still be right, Fran. I feel like we don't need to force this. We just spiral. I want to save the force for a planeswalker. Does grow the Goyf again. Let me just spiral in response. This also means that Ice-Fang doesn't have Death Touch for next turn. And we could also have Cryptic / Ice-Fang up if we force. Yeah, I think I'm forcing. Yeah, I think I'm going to force pitching Force. Then get blue-white Snowland. Also does make the Goyf one less attack and defend. Hypothetically, would I do a build around for Pummeler and Pioneer? My gut reaction is no. Like I've had a friend, and you know, I've also just kind of been around for all of Pioneer's life, and people have tried to build around Pummeler and failed, and I don't think that I don't have any like secret tech that makes Pummeler good. Was it good for a minute in Pioneer? I don't remember it ever being good, but I just don't have any tech for it, you know? I don't think that I would be the one to crack it. They probably should have played this pre-combat to grow the Goyf. It's a good draw. Alright, I think I'll get basic planes, I think plus. So what's nice about plussing is we can just like let them resolve Blood Moon this turn, and they also makes their Bloodbraid Elves worse. Wouldn't it be nice to bounce the Snow Force? We don't have time to do that, I think. I think we need to stabilize the board, especially because our opponent stabilizes at, or like most of their cards cost 3, so it's if they just have a land, it's likely they can still just cast all their spells. Teferi plus Ice-Fang just play so well together. It's awesome. I think if you bounce the Snow-Covered Forest, you are blinded by value, and I encourage you to seek help. You know, I encourage you to take a breather and find the better line. Yeah, they're just playing Goyf and Ponza. It's kind of wild. Doesn't seem that bad. Doesn't really seem that good either, I guess. I'll tell you what does seem that good, though. Our hero. Wait, Teferi is evolving. It's funny. Alright, 1-1. Could not defeat Mardu Pyromancer, but we were able to defeat Tarmogoyf Ponza. Hard to pass up on a hand with this much value. Oh boy. Blinded by the value. Just dead. Just dead. Probably need a bit more sideboard for the burn matchups. Maybe that's... You could play some Elder Gargaroths. I'm going to get the Floodplain here. It's really bad if Goblin Guide reveals the Floodplain. Revealed Growth Spiral, which I guess is... Sorry. They were dead anyways. Obviously, I should have played the Forest. Always feels extra bad on a Dono deck. Yikes. You cut the Loam, cut the Jace. I think I don't want explosives. Do you think Big Gargs is good versus Burn? Yeah, I do. I mean, Gargaroth is not like the card to play to beat Burn exactly, but it's a card that is good against Burn, good against Prowess, good against Vile decks, good against Etron, good against Ponza, good against Dredge. And so it's like, it's not like that's the card to play against burn, but it is a card that comes in a lot of matchups and gives you like just a way to gain life. And that absolutely counts as a punt. I mean, the nice thing is we could never ever win that game either way, I guess, but absolutely a punt. You can play Radiant Fountain. Kind of hard to play Radiant Fountain in your Spiral, Cryptic Command, Ice-Fang deck. Rooted 3 Aryax. Hope it's worth it. Well, we drew our best card. Could just main phase, gain 3. I'm gonna... I think I might, or gain 4. I think I'm just gonna do that off of Forest this time. And if we can draw a land for night, it's gonna be a 4/4. If they have Eidolon, we have Antanice. Colonnade being tapped, not being that big a deal. Amazing. Yeah, I'm so ready for the Bant Triome, dude. I don't know where they're gonna print it, and I also have no idea what they're gonna call it, but I'm ready. I think I'm playing Knight. It's a 4/4. Blocks the Eidolon. Get Cryptic next turn off of it. Not sacking this, of course. Sacking this. My opponent plays like Boros Charm. Maybe it's good to just Teferi Hero and either plus or minus on plus and path or minus. I guess those are just the options. I kind of don't hate just getting an island, attacking for 5, and then going counter their end of turn burn spell, bounce their Eidolon. Kind of like this line. I'm gonna fetch after they don't block, or after they do or don't block. Yes, definitely a high tempo play. He's a good line. Double Boros Charm though. Yikes. Maybe I could have waited for a second burn spell to make them trigger Eidolon again. Just so bad if they don't actually cast a burn spell there. Now we do have double path. Probably best to go Teferi into double path, right? One's got 2 cards. Does a double Boros Charm. Oh, maybe a little punished. Why not tuck Eidolon? I have 2 paths in my hand. And they have 2 creatures. You can do the math on that. It's like either shocking playing Breeding Pool to do that and then blocking the Swift Spear, or taking 2 off the Eidolon on path. I think this is better. But now I'm just going to minus on this and Colonnade him. Tucking it is no life loss. It is life loss if we don't kill the Swift Spear. Like, we're losing life to the Swift Spear if we don't tuck it. Why do we wait after the attack? In the beginning of combat step, it just doesn't matter. Like, we're pathing the Swift Spear either way. So yeah, the options there were to shock and Breeding Pool, play Teferi, tuck Eidolon, block second Swift, or block the first Swift Spear that we didn't know about the second one. Or sack Breeding Pool, play Teferi, tuck Eidolon, and then like get hit by the Swift Spear, or sack Breeding Pool, double path, which I just feel like was the best line. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I like this hand a lot more. I'm gonna put back Teferi. So I'm probably going Glacial Floodplain on turn 1 into Growth Spiral plus Onthanize on turn 2, unless they have Eidolon. Then I won't cast the Spiral, probably. Then get to play a Big Knight on turn 3. Oh no, I need to play Misty. Well, maybe let's play Eidolon, it won't matter. Yeah, cool. So good to go Floodplain. Ice-Fang's interesting. I think we're still doing this. Kind of scared of Eidolon number 2, of course. I like having this Force of Negation. Knight doing its best Loxodon Smiter impression too. It's a bummer. I guess we're blocking it next turn. We're doing our dying trying. Onthanize is providing our 3rd snow permanent to give Death Touch. And they have 5 cards. We have kind of stabilized the board at 12 life. Stabilize might be too strong a description for our board state. They drew their 3rd land, and they have 5 spells in their hand. Not feeling great. I think it's going to be Boros Charm plus Burn Spell to put me down to 5. Oh, Helix. Put me down to 6. I guess not a big difference being at 6. Okay. I guess it's good not to attack the first turn with this knight because it's just the same clock. Why did Eidolon not damage me for force? It did, yeah. Am I getting a colonnade? I guess so. Can I get a fetch? Fetch, I'm gonna put the knight up to 6/6. Yeah, I think it's possible my opponent does themselves too. And that doesn't really feel like there's a big difference between being at 5 or being at 6 here. I could go, yeah. Let's just make the knight a 7 power creature, and you know, lose to Boros Charm. But I feel like if they had Boros Charm, they would have already cast it that one turn when we were tapped out. And just taking the turn off the clock is so big. Well, if they're leading on Boros Charm, I don't think we could probably ever win. Ouch. This has been a rough day today. Yikes. Keep. I think this is fine. We're a 26 land deck. 2 different options on turn 2. We have Knight plus Retreat, which is pretty good. Around the play. We have the best card in our deck, Colonnade. We're going to play a 40 Lightning Bolt, 20 Mountain deck. That sounds like a great deck. Blue-red Pathway, Serum Vision. So I guess we're playing in Storm. Probably not a great matchup. Have the forces at least. I think I'm going to play around Remand by main phasing the Spiral. Damping Spheres would be good though. I was hoping to draw Onthanize or Path. I think I'm actually just gonna main phase Ice-Fang, trying to draw one. Also draw Force. Must be nice to be this lucky. Whew. Breathing a little bit easier. We're definitely, maybe out of the frying pan into the fire. I'm gonna play Knight. Does kind of play into remand, but I think we have to push our luck a bit. We can probably beat Empty the Warrens, right? Surely. Fran, you still not liking the retreat to Coralhelm? Yes, I still hate it. Stop asking me, is what Fran says. Nice. We have drawn well this game. I'd say that we have drawn above average. If I had to quantify if our draws were either above or below average, I would choose above. Is Force of Negation, Mist-Tall Griffin a modern playable combo? No. Coralhelm clearly broken, exactly. I'm glad that you've seen the light, Fran. Your sins are forgiven. My opponent's not conceding. I'm going to try to give I'm going to try to play this Felidar Retreat though. They have mana for repeal on night. I feel like they would have already used it. I mean, yes, like maybe they have something is what you're actually saying, but it's kind of hard for them to have something here. I don't know. Oh, wait, if I play Retreat, I don't really have Vigilance. Cryptic just sucks. I mean, we're playing against Storm. They don't have Cryptic Command. But yes, there are magic cards that could stop the combo here. We can everybody put one card our opponent could have here to stop the combo. And the most fun card wins a prize. Oh, whoops. Wait, what? They're doing something now? Manamorphose? Deflecting Palm. Manamorphose into Deflecting Palm would be pretty cool. I like that this is a lot of good engagement on this mind puzzle. The trackers maybe. Kind of hate Path. I don't know. Path against Storm is always so bad, and Ontonice isn't that good, but being sorcery speed, but they can make use of that extra land really, really well. Well enough for me that I'm kind of fine not playing it. I think I'm also going to cut the retreats. I think I want like Teferi as my win condition. Does make these knights worse, but they are also win conditions. Ashiok is okay. I think that I would be bringing in Ashiok if I had less sideboard cards. Definitely something I probably should have articulated. But we have Veil of Summer to stop gifts. We have Damping Sphere to stop their Storm. And at a certain point, I think you can overboard for Storm, and then they can, they've got a lot of card selection and some bounce spells to maneuver around you. But thank you for asking. It's a good thing for me to talk about. Any chance I should be playing around Blood Moon? I think I'll at least get Floodplain into Basic Forest here. It's gonna jam the Damping Sphere. If they don't have fetches, they don't have Blood Moon. I mean, probably, but they could have fetches. Like, I know we saw Pathway, I know we saw Canal here, but I don't think that's 100% for them to not have fetches, right? No Blood Moon for Storm. Fetchland Storm often plays Blood Moon. And, like, we don't know 100% which version they are, I think. They probably don't have Blood Moon. I should probably say it's not very likely at all. They can't really win with this in play. I guess they can maybe empty. So if they want to resolve their gifts, they might do it now. It's nice to have the insulation for empty. Probably not going to EE on 2. I think I'll just jam Teferi. Maybe this is a losing play. Yeah, probably a losing play, actually. It's possible they can gifts and kill the sphere and combo off, and I won't draw a blue card off Teferi. Just going to wait. My muscle memory definitely told me to not play this island for a second. I also probably should have played this, but because of Field of the Dead, same name land. Teferi Tuck, they can dig for bear again. I don't think Teferi minus is like that appealing of an option. I was probably gonna plus. They didn't gifts, which is weird. Hard to figure out a hand like this, I guess. I do feel really good having the out to empty the Warrens. It's possible they didn't bring in an answer to this against a control deck. They probably have like at least one answer. They're playing around Ice-Fang. They could have counter spells. I think I'm still jamming here. Nice. Maybe they did have gifts and they didn't want to jam it into open mana. Could see that being the case. They have to be on Arya for this matchup? I don't know. Like, Arya's not that bad. Or that good, really. I feel like Arya against the Teferi Time Raveler deck's not that exciting. I was not expecting lightning bolts, I'll say. I feel like they'd be more likely to bring in empty than Arya. Arya's also like really good against the Shadow Scourge decks, which is a big part of the reason to play it, I think. Nice, good draw. I definitely feel in control here. Yeah, their answers are like, you know, repeal, abrade, sometimes echoing truth, sometimes the split second bounce spell that they probably shouldn't be playing. Is an empty main deck. Sometimes they'll main deck one and then side in like 2 more copies and be like really in on empty. Sometimes they don't main deck empty. But like Empty the Warrens is definitely a big part of like your sideboard plan and grindy matchups. All right, got a 20 turn clock. Blisteringly fast. Yeah, it's definitely hard to imagine my opponent was able to sideboard perfectly against just like the Knight of the Reliquary Coralhelm combo. I could maybe I should have cryptic this. I usually like to use cryptic commands against cantrips in like really stalled out games, so I think I'm going to do it here. Like one way you lose this game is just never casting the cryptic or waiting too long, sitting back on it when you already have other counter spells. I think I'm gonna fetch. Well, the clock is doubled. Awesome. A little bit of a spoiler for the Dive Down podcast, which comes out tomorrow. But I was talking to them about the Bant Ephemerate deck, and they're asking me, like, what matchups do you side? Or is there any card in the deck that you never side out? And the only card that I never side out in that deck is Ice-Fang. There really just aren't bad matchups for Ice-Fang. I mean, there's definitely matchups where Ice-Fang's not at its best, but just the floor on this card is so high. Just instant speed, threat draw card. Nice. Nice. I think I'm playing Night Sphere. We can force plus dispute next turn. But if they had any interaction there, we were maybe walking into it. Oh, they're playing a spell. Yeah, I'm on the I will be on this week's dive down. We already recorded it. It's gonna be coming out tomorrow. I'll be posting links in chat tomorrow too. They reveal gifts to their barrel, which we can dispute. Can't both force and dispute. I can on their turn pitch force and spend 1 mana to dispute, right? Oh no, you're right. Never mind. I can actually Veil of Summer the gifts now. Which I guess I'll do. Yeah. I mean, this game was already pretty over. Double force up. It's hard to watch, I agree. My opponent. How do I get out of this? 2 Dapping Spheres? Veil of Summer? I have to think! I have to think! Echoing Truth? Yeah, everybody, again, post a card that can get our opponent out of this. I'll cast on my instep. Repeal. Targeting Knight of the Reliquary. Sorry, opponents. I had the mystical dispute. Ah! Alright, I'll chump block with my Baral. I guess we get EE on 2. No, that doesn't even kill them because it kills my Ice-Fang. It's not going to fire up the Colonnade either. Just leave up double force. No, if we EE on 2, we kill the... Oh yeah, their card that they could draw is Engineered Explosives, yes. This is fine. Pieces revealing dispute gifts. Oh no, sorry, just dispute. But with the 2 spheres, like the next spell costs 2 more, then the one after that 4 more, so the disputes are dead. E with 2 with Colonnade was lethal, I guess. Not if they... Because I have enough mana to E on 2 and Colonnade. I did, but what if they have a 1 mana spell? Got a deck tech to do while our opponent, finds the concede button. Nile Pile. One thing I'll say is I've never been a big fan of Drown. This is 4 colors. I've never been a big fan of Drown with white cards because it doesn't work that well with the bounce. I will say this. You do not need to play 11 1-mana removal spells in Modern. This is not... The format's not there. Playing 11 1-mana removal spells is going to make you just so cool to big mana combo decks, control decks, Tron decks. I guess like those are the real reason to be 4 colors. I'm gonna mulligan. This is, I think, is not a good reason to be 4 colors. Do you have any other notes? Yeah, you need to drop the white or the red. And I probably would recommend dropping the red and like looking at TSP Gendrix Esper control list. You can probably afford to play some Drowns, but not as many as like Blue Black or Grixis. But your mana is also gonna be not good. your deck that wants red on one, white on, maybe not one, but double white, red on one, black, red, white the first few turns, triple blue, it's gonna hurt. And I think you're just gonna be better off shaving a whole color. I also looked at all this and just now noticed Yorion. Yorion is not good in a deck like this where like you have literally 0 permanents. I guess like literally 0 is an exaggeration, but your permanents don't work well with Yorion. You know, like you don't have like really good value cards to tutor or to flicker with Yorion, and you're just not that incentivized to play it. Really don't think you want Yorion, especially in control decks where control deck sideboards are already... I should have, fetched differently. Control deck sideboards are really taxed because they need efficient sideboard cards for specific matchups. And so if you're... if you just don't have that, if you don't have your efficient sideboard cards for specific matchups, you're going to struggle, you're going to lose more. But even in a Yorion deck, that's too much spot removal. Wouldn't it be a league without playing against blue-red prowess at least once? Let me go ahead and dredge Loam, mostly to try to put a land in the yard for night. I did hit a land. Let's get a basic island here. Play a 4/4. And have it be much smaller than my opponent's 1 mana spells. Cut down to 60, cut red. Yeah, those are like those would be my notes, yeah. Or like the summary. And also like play like 6 tops 1 mana removal spells. But also probably 5 if you play Verdicts. I also kind of think Bloodchief's Thirst is better than Path 2. I don't think we can block. Ezekiel's redeemed Pet Athena. Can we get a mod to refund that? Okay, I'm gonna make a note myself to tomorrow to change it. I love that you guys are always down or always wanting Athena to be loved, and I really do genuinely appreciate it. But the problem is like she just isn't in here as often as she used to be. Like back in the old setup, it was just very easy because she was always right behind me. But now I'm in a different room and she doesn't like to not be on the couch. So I feel bad. I think it's time. Got to do something about it. I'll make myself a note. What's my thoughts on using Onthanize in a Colossus deck? You mean Colossus Hammer? It's probably good. Got like a little bit of Luris synergy too. Could make it a 100k option? Yeah, maybe. It's probably good. Yeah, taking it completely off does feel bad. I'll think about it. Alright, so I think my plan here is attack with Knight, Cryptic tap draw, have my opponent not have a burn spell, of course, and then we can cast Loam for... Oh, we don't have enough green. Oh, we can cast Loam for no value, then Teferi to dredge it to try to hit 1 more land to make Knight lethal. Yeah, I think Onthanize might be better than Path and Hammer Time. Probably would be, although it depends on like how many snowlands you have access to. Just get an animation and play it. That could be good. I have an Athena shirt that I would sometimes pet when Athena wasn't here. Yeah, of course the answer here is going to be opponent can also not have a burn spell in their 4 cards. And by burn spell, I also mean, you know, gut shot. They need to have like all creatures, lands, and they did miss their land drop last turn. And Mutagenic growths. Or Light Up the Stage is a card that doesn't exactly kill me. There's a Lava Dart. Do they have a mountain, though? No! No! Damn it. We're so close to winning this game. I mean, we also needed to hit a land off of the Loam Dredge. Which you would have hit. So close. Do you have some good sideboard cards for this matchup? I'm gonna cut the Loam, cut the Trackers again, trim Retreat, trim Jace. Maybe I should cut the Retreat to Coralhelm. Nah, we'll win with Retreat to Coralhelm. Do I feel like Colossus Hammer is positioned? Yeah, I think Hammer's a good deck. I think it's a little underplayed right now. Trim Force. You maybe could trim Force. Honestly, I think we've got a lot of bad cards in the matchup, though. And Force is potentially nice to play Knight of the Reliquary into Force. Is Brewer Prowess good enough reason to jam -2 to the creatures? I don't know what card you're saying. What card you're talking about? How do I feel about Geist and Squirrel Blade? I think that it's like only good in grindy removal spell heavy matchups, which aren't that popular. And I mean, I guess it's okay against Tron, but just like the matchups that you wanted in against are not that popular, and you're already kind of fine in anyways. And it doesn't seem particularly well positioned in the metagame. If you disagree and you feel like Geist is real good, though, I encourage you to play a Maul of the Skyclaves to go with Geist. Do I still do deck techs and donos for Pioneer decks? Yeah, we're actually doing a dono deck for Pioneer right after this. No Just Guide today. We just do donation decks on Thursdays. All right. It's a card. You have some trouble with these 4-color removal piles, and it was helping me out. I mean, I haven't been having trouble with those kind of decks. But, like, you're not wrong. Geist of St. Traft is good in removal spell matchups, you know? Obviously. But, like, Toski just already, I feel like, kind of eats those up. Draw a removal spell here. Could maybe pull ahead. Okay. It's probably better to play Retreat, right, than Anthonice. You know what? I actually don't think it is. I actually think that we need to save our life total here. Dragon's just so scary. Doesn't Noble make it better? It does make it better, but the thing is, like, Geist of St. Traft is not an embarrassing card to play in Squirrel Blade. Geist of St. Traft is not even a bad card to play in Squirrel Blade. But you only get 60 cards in your main deck, and you get 15 in your sideboard, and ideally you're wanting to play the very best options, and it is of my opinion that Geist of St. Traft is not the very best option to play in the deck. I think that you do not want to play Geist. I usually stream 6 hours a day, new medicines, and with varying schedules on the weekend, those are a bit more freeform. Another dragon and a Bedlam Reveler. Terrifying, and we're down to 5. Knight of Souls Betrayal. Yeah, that's not very good at beating prowess. Do I work on my body to keep my mind sharp during these long streams? No, my mind is not very sharp during these long streams. I used to work out a lot. It's been it's been tough with COVID. As many things have been. Just curious on thoughts about it brought on by budget constraints restricting you from extra force. Yeah, as far as like budget things, budget questions for decks I build go, it's really difficult for me to answer questions as for that. It's like, because a lot of times people are like, they're like missing one force, you know, and then they're like, what's the best thing to play for one force? But like everybody's budget is different. If you have like literally $0, it's going to be, you know, like a Spell Pierce in that spot. If you have, you know, like $15, you know, you can play a, oh wow, what a draw. What a draw. Just everybody's budget is so different that it's very difficult to answer questions about budget options. And it's just also not where my headspace is at either. So I think what we can't really let them untap here. Guess we're just dead no matter what, actually. Blue-red should play more Revelers. I think the first Reveler is really good in blue-red. Don't play Teferi, then escalate the spell. We can't. I mean, I don't think we can afford to escalate the spell here and let them untap. I mean, we're also just never really beating the flyer either way. We're dead to a bolt with either line. We're not really beating anything with this line. We couldn't go minus and gain life off the Alliance. Did we need both modes on the Alliance? The problem with both modes is like we'd lose to a burn spell with that line. We just lose to bolt with no matter what line we take here. Too slow. I do think that this deck has some potential. Specifically, Knight of the Reliquary plus Felidar Retreat have a lot of power together. I will also say that you know, also playing Retreat to Coralhelm obviously is a combo with Knight. But I think this deck is too light on counter spells is one thing I really felt like we just didn't have enough counter spells. So maybe you need to cut like the trackers and like some amount of the 1-mana removal spells to get some like mana leaks in there. Just no 2-mana counter spells in your Bant deck in Modern felt really bad. And the deck also needed some life gain. I think that Elder Gargaroth is good because it's a little bit more versatile. Timely Reinforcements is a little bit faster and more powerful. These are changes I'd make to the deck going forward. But cool list, definitely down to try it out. Like Felidar Retreat is a really, really interesting card, and I imagine that there probably is a good shell for it, whether it be green-white or Bant. Or maybe after Bant gets a Triome, it'll be a bit better. Could also maybe try playing Explorers. But we have one more deck today.